Right, welcome to the Yorkshire Plant Nursery. Today I'm just going to do a very quick video and just show you how to grow and care for your tomatoes, how to feed them, and at the end I'll tell you the best varieties of tomatoes to get. When we grow tomatoes, we don't grow in grow bags, we grow them in pots. It's a nice coarse compost, so it's nice and free draining. Don't bog your tomatoes down, but still retains the moisture. Tomatoes can be very temperamental plants. Now tomatoes like to be watered at the same time every day with the water that is the temperature of where the tomatoes are. So when I got told how to grow tomatoes, they always used to tell me, fill your watering cans up on a night time, leave them in your greenhouse overnight. So when you get up in the morning and water your tomatoes, the water is the same temperature where your tomatoes are. Now, bear in mind, tomatoes want watering twice a day and they want feeding twice a week when they're opening full flower. So you do the same. As soon as you've watered them on the morning, you'd fill your watering cans back up, leave them in your greenhouse. It's going to warm up through the day. And when you water your tomatoes, you're watering again with the water that's the same temperature. Also, tomatoes like regularity. So they like being watered at the same time every day. So on the morning, pick a time before, after breakfast, then water your tomatoes. Same on a tea time. Before or after tea, round about the same time. We're not talking to the minute, but we are talking round about the same time. And tomatoes like wet tops, wet bottoms. So when you're watering, through a rose on your watering can, all the way up and down the plant. And it's the same when you're feeding. So just about every garden centre in country stocks your tomato feed. So feed them twice a week at the dilution rate that's recommended on the instructions on the back of your tomato feed. And again, when you're feeding, you feed the leaves as well. So it's a foliar feed as well as a base feed. So again, put it in, up and down your tomato plant and into the base of your tomato plant. Irregular watering or insufficient or too much watering, that's when you get all kinds of problems. Everything from bud rot to the blackening on the bottom of your tomatoes to tomatoes splitting. So the regularity, the waterings is vital if you're going to successfully grow tomatoes. Now we've got some tomato plants growing in this greenhouse. They're about a foot and a bit tall, and they're just starting to send off the little side shoots. Now these are suckers, and on an indeterminate cordon variety, you want to take these suckers off. So what they'll do is just above a leaf, it's basically like a little tomato plant is growing out the side of your tomato plant. If you left them on, you get very little fruit because the plant's putting way too much effort into sustaining all this leaf growth. And all we want is a single stemmed. So all we'll do, we'll just break it off and again above each leaf. And once you've done that 6 times, that's sufficient. Then you just pinch the top of your tomato plant and that'll stop its growth. So tomato plants will just grow forever. But 6 struts or 6 suckers off the side and you'll get an abundance of tomatoes. You need to support your tomatoes, especially the indeterminates, even the determinates. They need support when they're growing. Cane's obviously the most logical choice. I've got a little tool here that it just straps your tomato up. Now you can use bits of string, you can use twined. You can actually buy proper tomato ties, but you just need to make sure it's loose. So you don't want to tighten it so tight to the cane that it'll bruise the tomato. So as the tomato grows, that'll thicken up, but it'll just give it that support it needs. As the tomato grows, you just keep going up the stem, making sure you don't damage the tomato, and that'll just give it the support it needs to grow. So as you're harvesting throughout the season, and everybody has this issue when they're growing tomatoes, as it gets to the back end of the season, into September, through and on into October, your plant's still got plenty of tomatoes on, plenty of fruits on, but they're not ripening off. There's several tricks. The banana skin trick, which most people know about, that does actually work. So it can be any rotting fruit, but because the banana rots the quickest, it's always the first fruit in your bowl to go off, it releases a chemical. And the tomato plant recognises that chemical, and it believes that its fruit's rotting. And so what it does, it ripens off super quick. Another tip for you is a teaspoonful of sulphate of potash into your pot, water it in. 7 days later, 50% of them green tomatoes have turned red. Now, I don't know the science behind it and I don't know why it works. All I know, it does work. I got told it a lot of years ago. We tried it and it does work. But sulphate of potash, It's a nitrogen concentrate, but it does work. So give it a go. Just a little teaspoonful. It's not going to break the bank. And if it doesn't work, it's not cost you £1 million. So at the beginning of the video, I told you which were the best varieties to grow, or at least what's my personal favourite variety to grow. Several different kinds of tomatoes. You've got your indeterminates, your determinates, your bush, and now we've got the trailing tomatoes. So indeterminates, basically that plant will grow forever. It's Jack and the Beanstalk stuff. That's why it needs pinching at top. Most of the time, 99% of the time, they're grown inside greenhouses. They will grow and they will fruit outside, but keep them in a greenhouse where it's nice and warm and it's sheltered from the winds. You get a better crop off them. Then you've got your determinates, and they're a determined height, whatever that height may be. It might be 5 foot, might be 6 foot, might be 10, might be 20 foot. So you still have to stop them if you don't want it to get out of control, but they have got a determined height on them. But my favourite is the bush types. So bush types, you haven't got to do a thing with. You just let them go. You ain't got to take no side shoots off. Most of the time they will grow quite happily outside, but just because it's an outside tomato doesn't mean it won't grow equally as well or better inside a greenhouse, because again, you're protecting from the elements, you're protecting from the winds and your temperatures, just at a degree or two higher. My favourite ones are Totem, little cherry tomatoes, stunning flavour on them, the most easiest tomato you'll ever care for. It can get blight, that's the thing you've got to watch out for. A lot of tomatoes, there is a chance of getting blight from them. But just keep an eye on them. Blight, it can spread from your neighbour's allotment, it can spread from your neighbour's garden. It's in the air, it blows around. Blight's very easy to notice because your leaves will start to curl. As soon as they curl, I'm afraid that's it for it. Get your tomato away, especially if you've got several varieties close by. Get a bag over it, get it away. Take it as far away from your greenhouse as you can. If you can burn it, burn it. If not, just get it in your recycle bin and get it far away. But there we go. That's my favourite. We'll see how that comes on. So that's the Totem variety of tomato, bush outdoor variety. Right, thanks for watching this video. If there's anything you need to know about growing tomatoes, but not just tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, any kind of greenhouse veg, just leave it in a comment below and I'll get back to you. And if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.